Alright, what I'm going to do right now is demonstrate turning a diameter. It does not matter what diameter size that I turn, does it? Because I'm going to tell it what diameter I'm turning to. I'm going to start my spindle in MDI mode. I've got an S600 M3 already in. If it wasn't already in there, I could put it in there. I hit cycle start to start up my spindle. My spindle's turning. Once again, guys, I can hand jog and run this machine just like a conventional machine, and I can remove material conventionally. I can select an axis and I can remove material using the hand wheel if I prefer. I could jog removing material by pressing and holding one of the axis buttons. So I've got a lot of different options of material removal, and it doesn't matter which one you choose. You choose the one that you're comfortable with. We move the tool away from the part only in Z-axis. We don't want to move X-axis. We want to leave X-axis at the position we turn the diameter. I stop my spindle. Because we're prepared, we happen to have a pair of micrometers right here at the workstation. We measure the part to get an accurate reading of where we've turned that diameter at. And I have turned that diameter at 1 inch 937 thousandths. 1 inch 937 thousandths. I can come over here and go to my offsets page, my tool geometry page. I'm going to call that tool number 2. It's a manual tool chain, so I can call it whatever I want. I'm going to call it tool number 2, and I'm going to hit X diameter measure. When I hit the X diameter measure, it's going to ask me for a diameter. What did I just measure? 1 inch 937 thousandths gets typed in. 1.937 and enter. When I type it in, I get a geometry offset. That is a geometry offset calculated to the center line of the machine. That tool is now set in X. Let's demonstrate for setting the Z-axis. I go back to MDI, I start my spindle back up, back into a manual mode, and I'm going to come over here and just take a face operation. Going to face it till I get a cleanup. Qualifying the face of my stock. I now have a cleanup. Notice I'm not going to move Z-axis. I'm backing off the part only in X. And I come over to my offsets page, my Z-axis geometry offset, and I hit Z-face measure. I've now set the geometry offsets in X and Z for that tool. Because I've set them to the part, I do not have a need to utilize the G54 or the work offset. Turn off my spindle. I'm now ready to change out my tool and touch off any more tools that are needed for my setup.